Foreign Minister Gdon Sa'ar, we appreciate you sitting down with us. You're the equivalent of our Secretary of State. Real honor to come in here, talk to you about some of these issues, one of which is something you're dealing with every day. Nations all around the world declaring a Palestinian state over your land. Yeah,
this trend began during the 80s. So it's most of the countries on earth already declared they are recognizing this virtual state. But I want you to see maybe where it should be, because this is the land of Israel, this is Judea and Samaria, this is Gaza Strip. So to establish a Palestinian state is to let Israel be with a depth of 9 kilometers or 14 kilometers. It's not the defensible borders. This is very clear. And the fact is that we already tried this genius idea. We did it when we totally withdrew on 2005 from Gaza Strip, what was called at the time the disengagement plan. Right. 20 years ago, we dismantled all our military camps, all our communities, even the graves from the cemeteries. So there was nothing there, but still the way they responded is to build the largest terror kingdom on earth. And it took a very short time after when they attacked time and again with missiles, and it took 16 years from the day that Hamas took over Gaza Strip to October 7th. Right. So we tried this formula, and in a way we also tried it in the Oslo agreements, because by establishing a Palestinian Authority with the principle that they will fight terrorism, but you need to go to visit their jails. There's no terrorists there. So the concept was to give them independence, and they will take care for the security. Right. But not only, they didn't do that, but our security situation deteriorated because every place we left became a huge base of terrorism. So now, if I can end with that, if you will give them a state with control over the border, right, over the sky, over an ability to be connected with other countries in the region, probably radical with alliances, that will be suicidal from the point of view of Israel.
But you have, on a global stage, you have almost 40 nations now in some way, shape, or form trying to recognize a Palestinian state. But in Gaza, you know, the Palestinian state was, you guys essentially gave it to them. You've given them all their utilities, you've been funding their infrastructure, and they elected Hamas to run that. How do other nations in the world not understand that if you give them this, they will literally elect terrorists to run their country?
Well, actually, it's not 40. It's, if you'll count everyone that did it in the past, it's probably 140. But they don't care because they are not here. We will have to live with the consequences. And when they are giving slogans like, we will give you a state, but without Hamas, demilitarize, who will enforce that? Right. We tried it in two huge political experiences, Oslo agreements and disengagement from Gaza. It turned out to be suicidal. It's the fortress to continue the war against Israel, but a very short distance from our communities. It's like, you know, running 1 mile, 2 miles, and you can kill Jews, which is a thing they are educated in the textbooks, in the schools to do. Right. So it is extremely dangerous for Israeli security. And this is why this idea that once was more popular became in Israel, almost no one support that. Right. Almost no one support that. But in the international community, it became a slogan, two-state solution. Right. Who said it's the solution? It's probably the problem. Right. And I say it's a two-states illusion.
Well, that's the problem is both sides are having very different conversations. I feel like your side, Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister's side, is saying we want peace. We want to be able to coexist. But if you ask from the Palestinian side, they say we don't want Israel to exist at all. How do you start having the same conversation? And also, it becomes an international PR war.
Yeah. First of all, it is clear in Hamas charter, but also in PLO charter.
The Palestinian Authority.
Yeah. Their objective is ultimately to eliminate the state of Israel. So this is why, after so many years, after these decades, we understood that for a reliable peace process, at least two things must happen. First of all, they must finish with the incitement against Jews and against the state of Israel in their schools, textbooks, mosques, media, which they don't hint they are intent to do. Second is the pay for slay thing. I mean, until this very day, the Palestinian Authority pays for terrorist families accordingly to how severe was their crime.
Right.
So if they did something more severe, they're getting more money, they're rewarded for terrorism. So this is why it's like a social encouragement for terrorism, not only by the jihadists fractions, also by the PA. So unless they are disconnected from these methods, you cannot really speak about peace.
So how do you get the international community to understand that this is a terrorist organization? They're, funded by Iran. They, Hezbollah and all these other groups are all working with the same goal in mind. How do you get the international community to say, we've tried the Palestinian two-state solution and they don't want that?
We must stand by the truth. It's tough. It's uphill battle. We know that most of the countries, they don't care. We have few great friends. The United States of America and President Trump's administration are our best friends, and they perfectly understand this problem. Yeah. Secretary Rubio demonstrated that while he was saying a few days ago that France, while declaring this virtual Palestinian state, just attacked the idea of the negotiations to rescue the hostages and to have a ceasefire. Yeah. But very few from the states are standing by the truth. The U.S. is the most significant nation and country that is doing so, but we have some other friends and we are battling for this truth.
Well, we're trying to get the truth out. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.